detected a missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill. If you are indoors, stay indoors. If you are outdoors, seek immediate shelter in a building. Remain indoors well away from windows. If you are driving, pull safely to the side of the road and seek shelter in a building or lay on the floor. We will announce when the threat has ended. This is not a drill. Take immediate action measures. Repeat. The U.S. Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill. If you are indoors, stay indoors. If you are outdoors, seek immediate shelter in a building. Remain indoors well away from windows. If you are driving, pull safely to the side of the road and seek shelter in a building or lay on the floor. We will announce when the threat has ended. This is not a drill. Take immediate action measures. Repeat. The U.S. Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill. If you are indoors, stay indoors. If you are outdoors, seek immediate shelter in a building. Remain indoors well away from windows. If you are driving, pull safely to the side of the road and seek shelter in a building or lay on the floor. We will announce when the threat has ended. This is not a drill. Take immediate action measures. Repeat. The U.S. Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill. If you are indoors, stay indoors. If you are outdoors, seek immediate shelter in a building. Remain indoors well away from windows. If you are driving, pull safely to the side of the road and seek shelter in a building or lay on the floor. We will announce when the threat has ended. This is not a drill. Take immediate action measures.
The guys driving against zones and they're getting that cracked.
Well, that's Saturday morning, and everybody is scared, and they think the North Koreans have sent a missile, a nuke at us, and I'm sure this is scaring the hell out of people in Hawaii. So I thought I'd get it on tape for you. Lie down on the floor, pull off the road. This is not a drill.
After that, the money you save is like putting money in
Okay, it's now 9:05. Emergency manager said, this is a drill. First they said, this is not a drill. Panic, lay on the floor. Now they say this was a drill. That's two lies. The lie first was that there was a missile threat. Now the second lie is that this is a drill. Hey, there it is. Ha ha ha. Trying to cover it up. That's what those jerks are doing. You know, fire everybody down in Diamond Head Crater. Rollin Frost here. I got an attitude. I had a very long, wonderful career in safety. I was one of just a few in Hawaii that were certified safety professionals and did it for 30 years here, and I got something to say. There are laws about shotting fire in a theater. These guys in the crater over there should be fired. They never should have been in the crater. We had wonderful crater festivals. Some of you might remember that. Music festivals. And then civil defense said, oh, we got to have it for our hardened facility. And these guys are paranoid. They don't do anything. They shouldn't be there. But will anything happen? Does any of these people in government like DLNR, poison an island, killing a crow, any of these guys in government ever come due? Do they get punished? Do they get questioned? Is there any judgment on these folks? I don't think so. You'll see what happens to these guys in the crater and the guys that dealt you that false alarm, 8:07 a.m., January 13th. I see it as kind of funny. I take it like the Kingston Trio. I hope you did too. Heck, I thought it might be a tsunami warning. Turned out it's a missile warning. My goodness. We're going to do program 1104. And You know that you're still in the month of a new moon squaring Uranus. That's what you just saw, all your cell phones. 1 million people in Hawaii at 8:07 on January 13th went into total panic and were told there was 10 minutes before a big nuke hit to get off the road, lay down on the floor, get inside. Jeez. Ha ha ha. There's got to be a lesson in this. I think the first lesson is to incompetent people in government and university slots, those with tenure, those civil servants, those people in the health department and the DLNR and corporate things where they think they're immune when they do wrong. Does anything happen? We shall see with these guys. Panicked, 1 million people at 8:07 a.m. Still people buzzing back and forth out there. They're all still excited out in the street. Funny, huh? Well, we're going to go from January 26th to February 4th. And there's a full moon eclipse on January 31st. It doesn't really go away. It's just a big red moon. I'd advise you, no sense looking at it. Any kind of eclipse isn't very healthy. So, but it's not that big a deal. It's a lunar. It'll be on all night and the whole world kind of sees it. Let's get down to your world, okay? First, here's an announcement on the Big Island. Naleo is changing things around. And I still got the same Thursday night, 7 p.m. I think they've locked that in. But the second showing on Friday is now going to be 3 p.m. Friday, for those of you on the Big Island on Channel 54 at Naleo. Now, let's get down to your world. Let's examine this whole pattern in minutia and see what it means for you, huh? Here's the planetary pattern. Yes, there's some truth coming out. Pluto sextiling Jupiter. These are Pluto guys that set off that alarm. And Jupiter came along and said, hey, wait a minute, the truth is... So I'll show you the charts on it if I have time. Let's go through this first. Uranus is your cell phone, huh? A rude awakening at 8:07 a.m., January 13th. A bomb, hide, quick, hide. My goodness. Let's run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern and see what we get. Friday, moon's in Gemini after breakfast. About breakfast time, the moon opposes Mars. And nobody's very happy with the sports and the aggression and the anger and the fighting. And there's a little road rage around. Somebody tell that young man to calm down Friday morning. By the afternoon, just before dinner, there's a nice trine to the sun. Father steps in. Everybody gets a plan. Come on, we want to enjoy ourselves. And sure enough, here's some enjoyment. This is about 10, 11 o'clock, and the moon trines Venus. Friday night, Freya. Friday is Venus's day. So it starts with anger, ends with some loving, hopefully, for you. Saturday morning, no. Here's early, the square to Neptune. There could be more confusion and delusion Saturday morning. Let's hope they don't wake us up with more sirens over nonsense. Confusion. But there it is. And confusion and delusion Saturday morning. Gets much better Saturday night late. Here, this is almost midnight, and there's a sextile to Uranus. And you could say, well, the good thing is they proved they could get to 1 million people on their cell phones. Bang, instantly. This is not a drill. And then 15 minutes later, it was a drill. But they did prove that those cell phone warnings worked. That sirens didn't go off. None of the other civil defense things did. But your cell phone went off. That's a good side of it, huh? Sunday, you wake up the moon's still in Gemini until you get to between breakfast and lunch, and it shifts into Cancer. And then here in the afternoon, the moon opposes Saturn, and we're saying, how come we put these people in authority and they abuse the authority and they get away with it? A cultural problem. A problem in forming organizations and putting people at the top who abuse us. Anyway, enough said. Moon's in Cancer. Monday morning there's a trine to Neptune. You can regain some faith in some of this. But after, this is a drill. No, it's not a drill. It is a drill. It's not a drill. I would, jeez. Monday night, there's a lot of action. Here it is. Here's the moon opposing Pluto. Who did those sirens? Investigate. Find out who did it. Let's nail them. Let's get the records out. You know, who put the alarm in? Trace back the electronics. There's a lot of confusion here. More cell phone, TV, electrical stuff. This is kind of a panicky night. Monday night goes into Tuesday morning. Doesn't quit until after, almost before lunch, and then the moon shifts into Leo. And there's a nice trine to Mars. The brothers are out, the young men, the heroes are there. We can fix things. Sounds pretty good, huh? Except here it is, the lunar eclipse. Now you'll see this late in the evening, and I don't advise you. It's just the moon just turns kind of a nice red. It's not really an eclipse, but it is a full moon. So Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, it's still more accidents, more over-exaggerated emotions. Goes through Wednesday. Stops your pleasure Wednesday afternoon with the opposition to Venus. Squares Jupiter. Too many big fat lawyer types. Clowns are clowning Wednesday night. Ugh. But Thursday morning, this is early again. This is only 3 o'clock in the morning, Thursday morning. The moon's in late Leo and trines Uranus. And look, folks, it did work. You did get the word out to 1 million Hawaiian residents. Panicked them at 8:07 on January 13th. There's a good side to this. The communications on that side worked. The sirens didn't. Nothing else worked. Thursday, people are angry. There's a square to Mars. It's after lunch. Impatience, angerness. Ask yourself what you're protecting. Settles down after dinner here with the trine to Saturn. Let's get organized. Is there money? Is there time? Got to manage the situations. Moon's in Virgo. Friday morning, around breakfast and just before breakfast here, the moon's opposing Neptune. What? There's lies. There's deceptions. What's going on here? This is not a drill. This is a drill. Who's covering their butts here? All those people who took over the crater. Oh, wonderful crater festivals we had there in the old days. Anyway. Maybe Friday, try to convince somebody that there's a need for these civil defense people to run these drills on us. Now, somebody's got to, where are the lawyers? There needs to be some law here. Shouting fire in a theater. That's what they did to 1 million people. Saturday, moon still in Virgo. Feels okay. A lot of new information, new discovery came out here. Very nice. Friday night. See, my show is going to play here on the Big Island at 3. This would be 2, 3, about 4 o'clock it hits strong. Anyway, you'll still feel it. Discovery, wisdom, stuff's going on all the way through the first half of Saturday. Second half of Saturday, well, in the evening, the moon squares Saturn. And we don't have enough time. We don't have enough money. But here about 10, 11 o'clock, the kids are happy. Your thoughts are working again. You feel better. Moon in Libra. Sunday, the moon's still in Libra. Sunday afternoon, there's a nice trine to the sun. Make a plan. Follow through. Be responsible. It's not easy because here, Sunday night later, around 9, 10 o'clock, here's the moon squaring Pluto. And you think you get some rest. You're looking for some sweets here Monday morning. It's a brief period. And then, bingo, the alarm bells ring. Moon opposing Uranus. Yeah, it's Monday morning. I hope it's not our cell phone saying, this is not a drill. Incoming 10-minute warning. Look out, look out, look out. Well, I seem to be featuring insane things on our local media. And this caught me. This is about Victoza and a seriously long list of side effects that's got to make you last. See if this list of side effects makes you want to take Victoza.
Victoza has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Victoza is not insulin. Do not take Victoza if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Victoza or any of its ingredients. Symptoms of a serious allergic reaction may include swelling of face, lips, tongue, or throat, fainting or dizziness, very rapid heartbeat, problems breathing or swallowing, severe rash or itching. Tell your doctor if you get a lump or swelling in your neck. Serious side effects may happen in people who take Victoza, including inflammation of the pancreas, pancreatitis, which may be fatal. Stop taking Victoza and call your doctor right away if you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe pain that will not go away in your abdomen or from your abdomen to your back, with or without vomiting. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you have any medical conditions. Taking Victoza with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. The most common side effects are nausea, diarrhea, and headache. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
If your pill isn't giving you the control you need, ask your doctor about non-insulin Victoza. It's covered by most health plans.
Why did I show you that Victoza thing? Well, because it's so ridiculous. Ask yourself, who made that long list of side effects? Who is trying to tell you about them? Does that absolve them from responsibility from this disastrous drug? What the heck is this about? I think that took it to extremes. You see them all over TV. You know, they're telling you about all the horrible side effects. Well, look, your safety and your health is in question. You know, the false alarm on the nuclear bomb, safety. And, you know, the health. Boy, here's another one. Check this out. You know how I feel about Monsanto. Well, published in toxicology reports. Some real guys did a big study. And I got this on their website called sustainablepulse.com. Shocking study shows glyphosate herbicides contain toxic levels of arsenic. And not just arsenic. These guys did the real work. Remember, there were these things where they studied glyphosate and fat. What is it? Anyway, they said, oh, it's not that bad. But see, they didn't study it with the additives. And the additives are where the disastrous toxic stuff is, the cancer-causing stuff. They're called endocrine disrupting things and chronic kidney disease. And where does it come from? Well, remember, when I was on this, I told you about POEA, which is a major additive to Roundup. It makes the leaves soft so the Roundup can get in the plant. Petroleum-based compounds with the glyphosate. If you just test the glyphosate, you know, it's hard to say how toxic they are, but it's the POEA and the arsenic and all the derivatives from oil. Those are the wildly toxic, carcinogenic things. Stuff that basically ruined my voice. Guy downstairs, wife's had a miscarriage. Guy sprayed us light levels of this stuff. Yes, light levels of Roundup for 2-3 years. And my health suffered. But, you know, they didn't know. Oh, no, the government okayed it. Incompetent people watching the store. You know, incompetent people watching this store. Whoever allowed them just to taste one component? These are all listed as inert ingredients, by the way. When you look at the pesticides, you can get the full review of the paper here. Where these guys come from? Six European countries call for glyphosate exit. New studies, carcinogenic, everything. It's all So what happened is the U.S. EPA relied on studies, to give glyphosate the new green light. They relied on industry studies, and the industry slyly just tested the glyphosate alone without all the additives, which doesn't seem to be that carcinogenic. I mean, you can eat DDT, but it, made all the birds' eggs small and killed off all the birds, etc. So anyway, they tested just glyphosate, and turns out it's everything else in it is the nasty stuff. Now, who was that in the U.S. EPA so stupid as to do this? Who was it in the crater in our civil defense who was so stupid as to wake us all up at 8:07? There's a bomb hitting in 10 minutes. Take your car to the side and bail out. If you're in your house, lay down on the floor. This is not a drill. Well, listen, folks. These folks that are in these positions do very little. And the EPA, what do they say? Available work expands to fill available time. So what's the EPA doing? They just take the study without question. Oh, we're studying glyphosate, aren't we? No, man, you were supposed to study Roundup. And Roundup has the POEA and other really destructive things, including arsenic. And you didn't test that. What the heck? Anyway, the study's there. Margaret Willey on the Big Island, bless your heart. She's the one that really did it and got Roundup off the counties. The county can't use Roundup anymore. They can't buy anymore. Thank Margaret Willey, who's no longer on the council. Now for something completely different. I've coached you before about when the sun is overhead and makes no shadow on a pole, that Father comes to visit. Well, the same thing happens with Mother. And recently I've been trying to contact Mother. So I hang out this piece of pipe. You can hang anything that makes a shadow, and when something's directly over it, shines through the pipe, makes a perfect circle. Now this happens on Sunday, the 27th of January, coming up for you on the Big Island at 9:23 p.m. When this happens, you can talk to Mother, the Virgin, the Guadalupe. 9:25 Maui, 9:30 Oahu, 9:37 Kauai. If you are a serious religious person who admits there's not just Father, but there's Mother too, this is a time to learn to talk to Mother. And there's another one here, but I'm not going to tell you that, because when I did the chart, the moon was at the top of the chart, but it has Uranus over here opposing on the rising sign. And I don't know that that's a very good time to try to talk with Mother. She might be very busy. Besides, your cell phones may be going off saying, "This is not a drill." I think I'm going to remember that a long time. But if you visit with Mother, find yourself a nice private place. Hang something up on a string so, a little piece of pipe works good. Anything like that. And you'll see when the moon gets there at 9:23, no shadow. Talk quietly, talk open, out loud. You have to talk to Spirit out loud. And you will have the Mother in your head. And talk to her. Ask her things about Mother. I would even make a little chair with some flowers and things. And, this is a time to do ceremony if you really want to talk with the moon, okay? The Mother. It isn't on the eclipse. These are the times. Try it out. You'll be surprised. First stage of enlightenment is to get to know the moon and become more telepathic and talk with telepathy with dogs and cats and babies. And that's your limbic brain getting enlightened, that midbrain. And once it gets enlightened, whoa, you can talk to the sun.